see if this works. If you can hear me, please let me know, because I'm having a little trouble with troubleshooting my audio input. But as this title suggests, this is a... Oh, great, wonderful. Welcome to my first Unbuilding stream. I'm just going to be taking apart my most recent build from the Imperial Air Base. So I'm just going to be hanging out. Feel free to ask any questions, etc., etc. We'll see how this goes. I would have done a normal sort of building live stream, except that when I'm building, it's not very often that I can just build without thinking. So an unbuilding stream kind of frees me from that. I can just take apart my latest mock and I can focus on engaging with the community, and I don't have to focus on solving problems or anything like that. So this is also a very experimental setup, so if the audio is really bad or anything like that, feel free to let me know. Another thing I was interested is how many people would actually hop on this stream, because I feel like most of my viewers are from America, and in America right now it's like 2 in the morning or something ridiculous like that, so. That's crazy, man. I appreciate you hopping on, but you should get some sleep, man. You gotta take care of your sleep schedule. Uh-huh. You have a night shift going on, or? Oh, this part's gonna be annoying, look. All of these little Technic pins on all of the sides. I have to pull them out. It's gonna be slow work. No, it's actually not that bad because I can push them in from the... You can push them from the back really easily because they have a little cutout. You can just push with your thumb and you can get a grip on it. It's not so bad. So I wanted to kind of talk about what upcoming builds I would do, some other future plans for the channel, stuff like that. A lot of people ask for building instructions, but in order to do that, I would have to build it in a digital designer kind of thing, like Studio would be a good one. I think they have automatically generated instructions, things like that. So all of my past builds I can't really do that way, but if I go into it with that in mind, I can do it kind of like, I can build it on Studio first and then build it in physical form later, theoretically, and then I can offer those instructions for people to purchase, something like that. That's an idea. But I have to do some experimenting with the program because I've never used it before. I've never really been a fan of building digitally. So it might just kind of end up being something that doesn't really click with me, but if enough people are interested in it, then I think I could get over it and learn the program pretty well. Another thing is that I probably wouldn't be able to do, a project of this size, at least at first, but just because, that would be probably a couple months of work for one project, which is okay. My goal is kind of to do one project per month, so we'll see how that would go. But I have a couple ideas for some smaller things that I could theoretically do and then release it on my channel along with instructions on Rebrickable. I don't know if y'all have seen the 2/12 fan film, but let me know if you have. It was absolutely phenomenal. And my next build may be based off of it. Maybe. I don't want to promise it, but that's the goal anyway. Just to kind of build the front landing area with droids coming out of the main door and fire waves. How's it going, man? Thanks for dropping by. Just deconstructing my latest MOC, the Imperial Hangar. Yeah, so if you've seen the 212 fan film, you have some kind of idea. I want to capture the vibe of the fan film, but without building the entire thing. Because obviously I could build quite a bit. I could do the massive turret on top of the sort of warehouse that shoots at them when they first come onto the platform. I could do a large area, but in order to do instructions, I want to keep it kind of on the small side, kind of make it look as though you would want to display it on your dresser or something. Yeah, no problem, man. Absolutely okay. I was wondering if we would get anybody outside of the United States on the stream today. Where are you from, if you don't mind my asking? Tatsiku, hello. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, so the idea is to make something from the 212 fan film smaller so that you can theoretically display it on your shelf. I will try to do something through Studio, see if I can get some instructions generated and see if that is popular, because if it is, then I would probably just continue that indefinitely as long as I can. Tatsiku, I'm unbuilding the Imperial underground airbase that I built last month because I'm very far behind and I was lazy, so I don't have anything new this month so far. Yeah, I was just wondering where you live. I live in the Czech Republic, so that's why to everyone in America, I'm currently streaming at like 3 in the morning, so. It was Imperial. If you're wondering if this MOC was Imperial, yes. If you're wondering if my favorite is Imperial or Clone, I would have to say Clone. Yeah, Matt, the online building programs, I really never got the hang of it, but hey, if people want the instructions, if people are willing to pay a couple bucks for some instructions, then I would like to try it out. Belgium. Well, greetings from Czech. Tatsiku, my favorite Lego set? That's a tough one. From Star Wars, I would have to say... Honestly, right now, in Star Wars, my favorite is gotta be this battle pack that came out the other year. For your value, it's actually insanely good. But my favorite Star Wars set of all time, that's tricky. Let's narrow it down to the favorite Lego set that I own, and I would have to say the 2013 gunship. The 2013 clone gunship. Alright, now I have to start ripping this apart. For those of you who don't know, I have been trying very hard to not not purchase any parts specifically for the builds that I do, because I don't earn any money on the videos or the shorts or reels or anything like that that I put out. So occasionally I will buy some sort of like general parts that I know I will use for more projects. So in my latest purchase, I got these, a bunch of them, and they are phenomenal. As you can see, I used almost all that I had to build the roof over the airbase, and it worked insanely well. Right now, they do kind of flex a little bit in the middle, but all you have to do is put a plate over all of the seams on the underside, and it won't bend down at all. In fact, I had the opposite problem. I covered the entire top with green. If you've seen the finished product, you'll know what I mean. And it was actually flexing the other way, like this, a little bit. So they're insanely helpful. They're a little bit expensive, but if you're interested in doing larger projects like this, I would highly recommend it. Because, yeah, you can really quickly build a large platform and cover a large space like this. What would the next MOC be? Medieval, interesting. The next MOC that I was planning to do is going to be Star Wars again, but it's not going to be insanely large like this one was. It's going to be something a little bit more reasonable, and yeah, I would not be opposed to dabbling into some more medieval. They seem to be very popular. The medieval tower that I did is my most viewed short on YouTube, so yeah, that would be not out of the question. I would consider doing something medieval, maybe something like post-apocalypse. Those seem to be fan favorites as well. I've been considering for a while doing a collaboration, or not a collaboration, I suppose, a mashup between Star Wars and Apocalypse, right? So some sort of abandoned clone base overrun with zombie clones or something like that, you know? Yeah, so if I was able to consistently do instructions for the MOCs that I do, and I could get a little bit of money back for those, I could afford to do more interesting builds. I would be able to then order some more specific parts for the builds that I do, which would improve their quality. It's just how it works. And then at some point, if it was popular enough, obviously the dream is to be able to do this like professionally, or I don't know if professionally is the right word, to do this for work. That would be pretty cool. So I'm going to try out the instructions, but it might mean that I finish fewer builds per month. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe I can do some on the digital designer and also just do my own thing on the side as well. That's also an option. Because I definitely want to keep making MOCs like this in this format for you guys, because I do enjoy it quite a lot. Alright, and just like that, the roof is done. And for storing these, I will be compressing the entire stack, unfortunately. Wait. But they only have stud connections in the middle and then around the edges, so it's actually really easy to pull them apart once they're stacked on each other. Which is convenient. Like that. You guys have to do it. And just like that. Just set that over there, I guess. I'm gonna experiment with the camera angle. I'm not sure if this is a better angle for you guys or not. Maybe not. Boomball. If I built something from medieval, what would you want to see? Because I feel like if I just did a classic castle, it wouldn't be that interesting. I would imagine doing something like a, I don't know, like a medieval village kind of setting, or like a water wheel, or a windmill, or something like that, you know? Has anybody here seen the new episodes from Andor season 2 yet? I have not, but I've heard that they are quite good, so I will be watching it soon. I thought the first season was phenomenal. It's been kind of I've seen mixed feelings about it, but personally I thought it was insanely good actually. I really liked how it felt. It kind of felt like every blaster bolt mattered. Like the stormtroopers were hitting their targets, and people were actually dying, as it should be. Otherwise, you have no fear, basically, of the Empire. The Empire felt competent, which was a nice change. A nice change compared to, let's see, the Obi-Wan show. The Empire was very incompetent, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys felt about it, but I really enjoyed the fact that the pacing of the show, at least in season 1, I don't know how it'll be in season 2. In season 1, it was really slow paced. You kind of went almost day by day with Cassian. And there wasn't always like a really big event that happened in each episode, and that's fine. You know, as long as the episodes make sense and they don't feel like filler episodes and they're actually progressing the plot, it's okay if the plot progresses a little bit slower, in my opinion. And then the result is that when a big spectacle actually happens, like the funeral scene, for example, it's actually really meaningful and impactful, and you see a lot of these characters that you've kind of gotten used to. They're kind of in the background, but they're still treated like proper like characters, even if you might not even know their name. And they start getting gunned down by the Imperials, then it feels impactful and it feels like it actually meant something, you know? Yeah, I've heard a lot of people commenting on Andor season 1 as being boring and like insanely boring and slow, and I get where they're coming from. It's just that in my opinion they did it well, and it doesn't feel to me like filler episodes, you know? Also, if you're curious how I did these slopes here, I can just show you really quick. It was in the video, however, it was sped up very fast, so you stack them like this with the little headlight bricks. And then if you stack bricks and plates and bricks alternately along here, you will be able to end up with a continuous slope using cheese slopes. Normally you wouldn't be able to get them to be that smooth, but if you use the alternating headlight brick design, you can. So that was fun. I enjoyed doing that, and I think it made the whole entranceway feel a lot more, I don't know, refined. I don't know if refined is the right word, but we had someone here from Belgium. Is anybody else here from outside the United States? That would be interesting. All right. The next thing we're gonna destroy is the catwalk. Yeah, I was running out of parts at this point in the build, so that's why the support columns look kind of weird. This part is nice, but then the rest is kind of just a little bit below, a little bit below the normal building quality. Augustina Gomez, welcome to the stream. For everybody new watching, I'm just deconstructing my Imperial Underground airbase, my most recent build, and just kind of hanging out, talking about what future builds I have in mind, our thoughts on Andor. Personally, I think it was great. I appreciate all you guys for stopping by to watch the stream. You are currently my motivation to take this MOC apart because I have been procrastinating. I finished building, I think, on April 13th or 14th. I finished this MOC. And I took all the videos and pictures, and I made the short and the reel, and yeah, and then I just stopped. I stopped, and I really need to take it apart. It's getting dusty, and I need to start working on the next project, so. Hey, cool, man. Sorting is kind of a drag, isn't it? I get a lot of questions, people wondering how I sort my parts, and it's not an easy answer. Some of them are sorted by color, some of them are sorted by type, and a lot of it, genuinely a lot of it, has just kind of evolved over years and years of MOC building. So it's not an easy answer. I would do a video on it if enough people were interested, but maybe I should wait until my Lego space here is sort of complete, because as it is right now, it's not optimal. It's nice, don't get me wrong, I really like the space here, but I need to buy a couple like IKEA sorting drawers and 3D print some Lego, I guess they're not Lego compatible. Just 3D print some containers that fit in them perfectly. There's a guy, I can't remember his name now. Let me just really quickly check. He's offering for free plans that you can print if you have a printer. You can 3D print them for free, and they perfectly fit inside IKEA drawers. So let me just find him really quick so I can shout him out. The guy is Diego Catarino. I'm probably butchering his name, but yeah. If you just type in, I typed in Lego sorting IKEA, and I found him. He has a whole dedicated video on the perfect Lego sorting system is the title of the video. It's definitely worth a watch. And he engineered it all to perfectly fit inside IKEA drawers. So it's really convenient, and it's free. Like, he put it all on a 3D printing site where you can download the plans for free, so. So that is the goal. That's the goal for the Lego area here. I would put them down here under the table somewhere like that for easy access. And yeah, that's basically the only thing I still need to figure out for this area, so. Because right now, I'll just show you what you don't see is that and that, all of these Ziploc bags with different parts. It works, but it could be nicer, so. I also wouldn't mind, I wouldn't mind buying another one of these, just setting it like right next to it. I would have a space. It's like metal. The drawers are plastic, but the frame is metal, so it feels kind of nice and durable. I think they're normally for actually sorting like screws and different hardware and things like that, but it works perfect for what I'm using it for. And if I had a second one, I think I would use the space, because there's many drawers where I have like multiple items in a drawer, so it could be nicer. I guess those would be the two things that I would change about the Lego space. One more of those, and then the drawers underneath. If you guys would be interested in watching a proper building stream as well, let me know, because I did a building stream before, but it was probably like 5 or 6 years ago, like something crazy like that. And I just never went back to the idea. So if that's something you guys would watch, just throw on in the background or something like that, let me know, because I can definitely do it. As long as it's something that I have to just figure out how to record for my videos at the same time as also streaming. Or maybe I'll just keep doing unbuilding streams like this, because I don't have to worry about capturing any progress for the videos and things like that. It just seems a lot simpler to me, so I would be happy to continue doing this. If nothing else, it helps me get the MOCs taken apart quicker. Alright, that is all of the 8x8 grid design plates that I own. Right there. Excuse me. Like I said, the MOC is getting dusty. I also considered doing some kind of gaming live stream as well, just because there's 11,000 of y'all following me on YouTube, and sometimes I just don't have the energy to produce a Lego related video, you know? What if I just want to sit and chill and play some video games and hang out with you guys? That would be one idea. I just don't know if it would be interesting. I don't know if I would be able to sort of like entertain or interact with chat very well. I guess it depends on the game. I could try to keep it on theme though. I could do like Battlefront 2 or something like that. I don't know, it's just an idea. These are very annoying to separate. These rounded, like light pieces. Ugh, they're the worst. Sometimes they even get stuck, and I don't know how to get them apart. All right. So, what next? I suppose the next step is to start taking apart the actual, like, the rooms here on the side. So let me just clean these parts up. Welcome back, Firewaves. This is a bit inconvenient. There we go. That's better. All right. Oh, it's dusty. That's annoying. There. Get a nice view for you. I already gutted out most of the interior detailing and stuff earlier on. Ugh. Dust is my worst nightmare. All right. You're gonna draw a Lego. Yeah, cool. Drawing is something I wish I was better at. That if I gave it some effort, I think I could be better at. But I just never did, which is kind of sad, actually. I think there's so many things like that in general that we as like humans just we could do, and then we just don't, because we don't give it the time, you know? Or we start it, and then we start it, and we suck at first, because that's normal, that's real life, and yeah, and then we stop, because it's not fun sucking, and so we kind of just assume, oh, well, I guess it's not for me. I do the same thing, though. I do it quite often. That's what I'm going to try to not to do with, English. That's what I'm going to try not to do with the digital building. Because like I said, I don't really like digital building. I don't really enjoy it. I've never really done it. I've never really gotten used to it. But if I do it and if I get it right, it has the potential to be an option for you guys to purchase the instructions for crazy builds like this, and I think that would be really cool. So I want to consciously not give up before I've even tried, you know? How long does it take me to make a Lego like this without a plan? This particular one, I finished it in less than a month. So I think it was like 28, 29, something like that, days. That's how long it took me for this one in particular. But everything is different, so on average, it's taking me about a month, because that's the goal that I've given myself, is to do one build per month. So normally it ends up taking all of the time that I give for it. So I'm a professional builder. Well, I wouldn't really say that I'm a professional builder, no. I've been doing it sort of on and off since I was probably like 14 years old, so like 11 years ago. But I wouldn't say that I've done it enough to be considered professional, no. But thank you. If you meant it like a compliment, then thank you, and that's a big compliment. You're from Belgium, Mr. Firewaves, correct? I was curious, do you have a lot of indoor climbing gyms in Belgium? Because I know it's more of a European thing than an American thing. When I lived in America, I never went to the climbing gym, never even saw one. But in Prague, there's like 2 or 3. So that has quickly become one of my favorite things to do is go to the climbing gym. That's alright. Thanks for dropping by, man. I appreciate you watching. Have a good day. Have a good day. Thanks for dropping by, man. Yeah, climbing gyms are much more popular and frequently found in Europe, it seems like. They are in America. I just never went to one. Nobody really talks about it. I didn't even know, where I lived in America, the closest climbing gym was like a 3-hour drive away. So not really convenient for a afternoon workout. Throw it on the floor? No, I have seen people do that. A couple reasons why I won't do that. Mainly because it would break pieces, and that's kind of wasteful. And secondly, because I would still have to take it all apart and sort it into all of my containers. So for spectacle, yeah, it would look cool, but practically, nah. The time I save would be worth more than the broken parts. Maybe. Yeah, that's possible. It's possible that the spectacle of throwing it off the table would get more people to watch. Um, yeah, that's just not really. You know, maybe if it was the build I did on Mustafar, it was just covered in those little red crystals, like thousands of them. Then maybe it would be really cool in a slow-mo, but this, honestly, not really. This whole wall is a piece. This is all pretty solid. Well, that's clearly not solid. But, you know, it would just kind of break into like maybe 5 separate chunks, and that's not exactly, I don't know. It wouldn't be that cool, I don't think. Make it look like an accident? Nah. No, I'm not about that fake stuff. No. If I did it ever, it would have been for the Mustafar mock. There was probably like 5,000 little red crystals. Let me find one. I don't have any here. But yeah, about 5,000 red crystals. It would have been spectacular to see it crash on the floor. However, I would say no amount of clicks would be worth my time to clean all of those up off of the floor. And to be honest, the slow methodical nature of taking the mock apart is kind of therapeutic. You kind of just go slow and think. I honestly enjoy it quite a bit because when you're building, you're solving problems, you have to think about what you're doing pretty like actively. I can't even really listen to music because it kind of, I don't know, my brain is just funky that way. It distracts me and I can't think. But now, like taking apart something, I can chat with you guys. I can just think, you know. And it does go quicker than you think, I think. Because I've been streaming for like an hour and 10 minutes. It's like the retrospective. Exactly. Exactly. I can think about how I built it as I'm taking it apart, and I can be like, yeah, that was dumb. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that the second time. It helps you kind of learn. I don't know. It's a whole journey, you know. It's like when you're playing a video game and you want to get better at the game, so you save the replays from each like competitive match or something, and you go back and watch it, and you kind of like watch yourself playing the game, and it very often helps you get better because you don't really notice what you're doing so much in the moment, you know. Obviously you can apply that logic to almost anything that you do. It's just video games is the one that came to mind. I wonder why that is. Aha. Used Lego sets. Those are always a gamble, to be honest. I have had very good experiences and very bad experiences. It's really, yeah, it's kind of a gamble. And if it's a good price, then uh, I'm willing to risk it if the price is low, because I can always clean the parts myself. I can put in a few hours of work and like scrub the pieces, get the dirt and dust and pet hair and whatever else out. Yeah, it's just about putting in the effort. Unless there are broken pieces or missing pieces or damaged sticker pieces, because those problems are a little bit more difficult to solve. But yeah, used Lego. It's anybody's guess. On Bricklink, I haven't really had any bad experiences. I would say buying secondhand on like eBay and things like that, you run a little bit more of a risk. Just because I feel like in those cases, it's more like maybe like someone who found a pile of bulk Lego on a garage sale and knew that they could resell it and didn't bother like taking care of it or anything like that, or maybe it's a mom who's selling off her kids' Legos that, you know, sat in a box collecting dust for the last 20 years, you know. So. All right. First floor is almost done. Or, sorry, the third floor, actually. Another reason why I really like taking the mock apart slowly and methodically is simply because it helps me to see where in my collection I should adjust kind of how I have a part sorted. For example, I'll explain. let's say in this mock I use every single white plate that I own, okay? And I have a big bag of just white parts. So for this mock, I have to sort out all of those plates, and it's like annoying. And I'm gonna finish the mock, and I'll go to put it all away, and I'll have in my hands, I'll have all of the white plates that I own. And then I have to make the decision, am I gonna throw it into this massive bag of miscellaneous parts, or am I gonna grab another bag and keep it separated? You know, because knowing my luck, the next thing I build is gonna be white, like a snow planet or something, and I'll have to sort all of that out again. So that has happened quite a few times actually, and it leads to a more concisely and usefully sorted out collection. So it kind of just evolves quite often actually, the way that I sort my parts. just adjust the view so you guys can see what I'm doing a little better. Yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, now we're getting to the Armory. I never noticed it. I don't know if you guys agree, but a lot of people said that the Armory area looks like toilets, like urinals. I don't really see it. Maybe it's just because each one of these sections is its own little like chunk, I guess. But yeah, pretty funny. I did not expect that, but the idea was that each section was like for one trooper to go and like get their grenades, helmet, gun, everything that they need, and that way it would be nice and organized, you know. So yeah, but apparently it also looks like urinals. I need to go grab my dark bluish gray bag. It's not here. Arnie, how's it going, man? Thanks. Thanks a lot. This was the Imperial Underground Air Base. Yes. I suppose that's not a bad angle. Yeah, this is the underground Imperial Air Base that I'm taking apart, and the next thing that I build will probably be something inspired by the 2/12 fan film, if you've seen it, animated. It's really, really impressive work, actually. Yeah, I'm hoping to do something inspired from that. After that, I don't know. I've had a request for something medieval. I've had a few requests to do like a separatist version of this, honestly. Like a separatist underground base kind of thing. Yeah, the options are kind of endless. It's probably not a very good strategy on my part, but I kind of just plan like one build in the future. That's something that I am working on getting a little better at, because if I planned more into the future with the builds, I think it would just help things go a little bit more smoothly, but yeah, I'm working on it. A droid factory. You know, that wouldn't be a bad idea. That wouldn't be a bad idea, no. I could do it like Geonosis style or something. I feel like it's really overdone, you know? I've seen a lot of droid factories. Maybe like a abandoned droid factory. I don't know, something to make it a little bit more interesting. Abandoned, and maybe rebels like reusing it or something like that. Or maybe Imperials like patrolling for scavengers that they want to arrest or something. I don't know. I've kind of been itching to do some kind of post-apocalyptic build as well. The last one I did, the abandoned gas station. It really didn't do very well on YouTube, but on my Instagram, that was one of the favorites out of everything that I uploaded, so. Kashyyyk droids. Interesting. Yeah. I do have a few Kashyyyk droids that I could utilize. I'm also considering posting a poll on my Instagram and my YouTube just to see what theme people would like to watch more of. Like, you know, the options would be Star Wars, medieval, mm, let's see, Star Wars, medieval, post-apocalypse, these kinds of classics that I've already done, and then obviously I would leave a spot for people to write in something totally different if they want to see something totally different, and just see what people vote, because I need assistance in the imagination side occasionally, because I've been consistently building now for like a year and a half, which isn't that long. I've been on and off. But yeah, sometimes it's hard to think of something new and original. You like Star Wars, especially clones. Yeah, that is probably the most popular theme that I do. But occasionally I'll do something random like a medieval tower, and suddenly it's the most viewed short on my YouTube. So yeah, so I want to mix it up and keep things feeling fresh. The next build you will like, in that case, Mr. AM or Army. Yeah, Arnie. The next builds I plan to do, I don't want to promise it, but I'm planning to do something off of the 212 animation. If you haven't seen it and you like clones, then you're really missing out. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the compliment, my man. This is something that I started doing. This is the second time I've done it this year, is using these storage crates to add an interesting wall texture. So I put that all along the entire Armory wall in between these panels. If I remove them, you can see it there. Yeah. I don't know, just adds some detail on the wall. It looks natural. It's smooth but not boring, you know. I also used it in my Kashyyyk Swamp Speeder build, the first one of this year. That's really smart. I like the idea for the ground too. The ground, you mean like the tile texture here? Yeah, I also really like it. It's a shame that the control room up above was just normal basic tiles, but I ran out of these like Nexonites shield things. Yeah, yeah, I like it. It felt very appropriate for an armory. Thanks. Thanks. I do. That was one of my favorite parts about this MOC was the stairs that went in the same column through all of the floors, along with the railings. I know the safety railings uh, are not classic imperial safety measures, but I think I don't know. I liked the way it looked, so I just went with it. But yeah, the stairs, I really wanted to make it look as though you could take your minifigure and actually access all of the floors. Yeah, that's one of the stairways. So I did 3 of them all the same like that. Thank you. And thanks for stopping by to watch, guys. This is my motivation to get this mock taken apart so I can build something new. I have been procrastinating. Big surprise, right? I think we all struggle with that problem, at least to some degree. What are my favorite builds to build? Probably clone, like Republic bases or clone related things, I would say, is probably my favorite. Just because there's so many different legions, so many different colors, it can be really like vibrant, and also because that's kind of what got me started with building with Legos, you know, and building MOCs and everything like that was classic clone bases, you know. 501st the most. Yeah, they are pretty sweet. Personally, my favorite Legion, again, it's kind of just based on the color right now, but right now I'm really enjoying the Shock Troopers. Just because we have the new one from like the battle pack from last year. Yeah, the 501st Troopers are absolutely like insanely plentiful right now because of the 2 battle packs that were available at the same time. Well, at the same time, and then the original one got discontinued. I personally like the original 501st battle pack more because you don't have the helmet holes. It's kind of a controversial topic, the helmet holes, I know, but yeah, I think they look a little bit better without the helmet holes, but they're not that bad with them. You know, it's like if I had to pick between 2 501st battle packs, I will pick the one that didn't have the helmet holes, but it's really not that big of a deal, you know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I also liked that the original battle pack came with just like classic 501st Troopers. Unlike the newer one that came with like Specialist and like Heavy Trooper and all this stuff. Which is great, but sometimes you just want a whole army of basic troops, you know, so. Right now, this is my Absolute favorite battle pack. It's insanely good value for the price. You get a bunch of basic plain phase 2 clones, a bunch of droids. It's kind of perfect, honestly. I don't know what I would change about it. Plan to buy a few more. The heavy troopers are really cheap to get. Yeah. Yeah, because the battle pack right now is still available, as far as I know, and it's kind of on pretty good discount usually, so it makes sense. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the recently, I don't know if it was leaked or released photo, but there's gonna be a battle pack for like $22. And it comes with only 4 figs, 2 Death Troopers and 2 of like the Night Sister Troopers from the Ahsoka show. Really bad value in my opinion. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, battle packs only recently went up to $20 price point, and now they're already at $22. It's crazy. All right, we've been going for an hour and 58 minutes. I will probably be ending the stream here in a couple minutes. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out. This was fun. I got a lot of progress done on deconstructing the MOC. And yeah, I will definitely consider doing this in the future more often, because I enjoy interacting with you guys through the comments. And in this format, it's a lot more, I don't know, we can interact instantaneously rather than through comments, so it's kind of cool. So if you guys would be interested in me continuing these live streams in the future, make sure to drop a like, show your support. Thank you guys very much for hanging out. It's been fun. And that's gonna be it. I will probably reboot the deconstruction unbuilding stream on my Instagram. So if you watch my Instagram, that might be out in maybe an hour or so. Just want to get a feel for which platform, YouTube or Instagram, is going to have more interest in these kinds of streams. So if you're interested, keep your eyes out for that. Thank you guys very much for watching. It's been fun, and I will see you all on the next one.